Nobody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For today, it's 5 things we learned about the round 7 of the 2023 Currie Cup. A very interesting round. If you'd like to sort of look more about sort of the results and the table, then check out our review that we put out yesterday. But the Pumas still very much the favourites and very much the team on top. But we're seeing a bit of a surge coming from a couple of other sides in the form of the Sharks and the Bulls. Whilst it's interesting to sort of see what other teams are doing in the competition with regards to where they're looking to build depth, where they're looking to try and compete, and sort of where they stand at the moment. But yeah, before we look at the 5 things that I took away from this weekend, please let me know what you took away down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And yeah, as I said, basically this is just what I took away. I'd like to know what you guys thought, and if you disagree or agree, really enjoy sort of having that sort of feedback and having that debate down in the comments. So please do go give me your feedback and let's chat about it, shall we? But without any further ado, let's head over to number 1. Right, so they're the defending champions are the Pumas, and the question sort of is about how can they cope with the pressure? You know, can they win ugly? Can they win games where they're not playing their best rugby? And I think this weekend they were pushed to the limits by the Western Province, but they managed to come back late, get the victory. They've done it out twice. They did it against the Lions as well. So it's a team that don't panic, as a team that really do back themselves. And I think that's going to be quite a big hallmark of their progress and how competitive they might be, is the fact that they really do back themselves in all situations. Even when things are going badly, for example, they don't panic, and they back themselves to have the class and the ability to overcome whatever team it is, no matter how bad of a start or how badly things are going within the game. Right, so Joey Mangala moved to the Sharks from the Bulls, and his absence was immediately felt by the Bulls in the fact that their defense this season in the URC was pretty woeful. Although having said that, the Sharks' defense as well is also something not too pretty. But Joey Mangala, who's rated as one of the best defense coaches in the country, he was appointed as the head coach of the Currie Cup side, and it's a lot of it sort of where is he best? Should he be in the Currie Cup setup, or should he be in the URC setup? But what we saw this weekend is we're seeing a Shark side which are really progressing under him, and I think he's somebody who's being touted as potential being involved in the Springboks quite soon. And I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing coming from him in that Shark setup. So I think the URC side are very poor not to have him, and poor off without him. But I think we're starting to really see that how good Joe Mangala is and just what he can do with the team in the Currie Cup. So from that perspective, I do think that his progression as a coach and his learnings as a coach is definitely well suited at the moment at the Currie Cup. And we're seeing a lot of the fruits of the labour that he is bearing, which is really good to see. Right, so Jake White is a very big Currie Cup fan in that he actually doesn't really like the Currie Cup at the moment because he says it's not the Currie Cup. But for as long as it does hold the name, as long as the same trophy is lifted, the Bulls want to win this trophy. They love the Currie Cup. They want to have this trophy within Loftus. And Jake White stepped in and took over from Ege Machila, which I still think was the wrong decision. But they have had a bit of a resurgence and since then. So they are getting those results. And I think that there could be dark horses for the Currie Cup. At the end of the day, they've got maximum 3 more weeks of URC. If they were to lose the Stormers, they'll be out of the URC. And I do think it's a union that is so ready and so intent on winning the Currie Cup, but they might start learning their side. So I think, despite their terrible start, I generally do think that Bulls right now are very much dark horses to actually win the entire competition. Right, so it's always interesting to see how teams who get promoted cope. And the Griffins have been on the receiving end of some pretty heavy losses, but they've also already won a game, and they won against the Bulls of all teams. And this weekend, they lost to the Greek Quiz, but it was a high-scoring affair. And I think that it's pretty cool to see. I mean, they went down 42 points to 27, but they scored 27 points. So I think that they settled into the competition quite nicely. I think that obviously from a resources perspective, they're going to be well behind. And they've currently got a pretty poor, points difference of minus 159, for example. But they have won a game, and I think they are getting better week on week. And they had a very tough result against the Pumas, but it's going to take a while for them to settle in. And I do think we've had some nice moments from the Griffins. And the big thing for them is to sort of just take this year to sort of acclimatize and then try and bring in a couple of young players and then see what they can do. But I do think that we are seeing a bit of improvement from them over the last few weeks. And hopefully they'll continue to grow so that we can have some, further strength towards the bottom half of the Currie Cup table. Right, so whilst they did come up short against the Pumas, I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing from the Western Province Rugby at the moment, which is ironic given the fact that they're in administration and behind closed doors and in the boardroom. It's shocking. From a rugby perspective, they are in a very, very good place. And, the fact that they pushed the Pumas to within 1 point on Friday night and maybe even should have won the game shows you just how much talent is still coming through those Western Province structures. You've got UCT, who lost to NWU in the final of the Varsity Cup. But obviously you've got the Stellenbosch, the Western Rugby Institute down there. I think the pipeline is really good, and I think that they really are looking to build some very long-term depth with some very exciting youngsters and players coming through. And yeah, they're creating a nice culture down in the Western Province Rugby and Stormers, and I think that they are planting the seeds for what I think will be a pretty successful years to come if they can continue sort of incorporating these structures into the grand scheme of things and to kind of continue really building on what they have. So I've been very impressed. So those are sort of the 5 things that I picked up over the weekend. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, or what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Please, as I said, always do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.